guys, this week's read was a book called Station 11, and this is written by Emily St. John Mandel. This book was a National Book Award finalist and also made many end-of-year lists for the year 2014. If you're interested in this book, right now we are currently quarantining for the COVID-19 virus, and this book is not for you if you're looking for escapism. The book actually deals with a Georgia flu, which is a fictional flu pandemic that wipes out about 99% of the global population. Most of the action takes place around the Great Lakes region and some of the United States territories as well. The novel opens during a modern day production of Shakespeare's King Lear. The lead actor, Arthur Leander, collapses on stage. And coincidentally, in the audience is a character named Jivan who is training to be a paramedic. So he hops on stage and he's trying to give Arthur CPR to have him hold out until emergency responders can get there. Meanwhile, there's a child actress who is off on the side of the stage who is watching the whole thing in horror, and her name is Kirsten, and she becomes the main protagonist later on. So what's really chilling is all of this takes place in the first couple of chapters, and after the theater starts to trickle out, Mandel presents us with a conversation where 3 or 4 people are surrounded at a bar just talking about how crazy that was and what's going on, and she leaves us with the idea that nobody that participated in that conversation is going to be alive in the next 3 weeks. So fast forward 20 years after this incident with Arthur Leander on stage, and that's where a lot of the novel takes place as well. So you're following Kirsten, and it's 20 years after the world has basically collapsed, and she is traveling with a traveling symphony / performance group who go around performing plays and playing music for different towns as they just continue to travel this new world. If you are right away intrigued like I was because you love dystopian fiction or you love an apocalyptic type novel, let me just tell you now that this is unlike any other dystopian fiction that I have ever read. It even falls a little bit into the sci-fi category because this story doesn't really follow the collapse. Straight from the incident with Arthur, it goes fast forwards basically to 20 years into the future, and you're going to toggle back and forth between those two worlds, which is pre-collapse and post-collapse. And what you're doing is you're following characters throughout this process, and you're getting a glimpse into every little thing that they did and how it ultimately affected or had a bigger impact on somebody's life 20 years from now. So not even until there's 55 chapters, and in chapter 30 was when you get a little taste of what was happening while the world was ending. And so you get a little taste of that, you get some of that, which is pretty cool, but it really doesn't focus on the collapse and everybody learning to survive. This is much more of a character-driven novel where you're learning about the people and what they have learned and how they have changed from the experience. And then again, looking at all the little things that they do that seem like nothing that have a bigger impact, just the happenstance that affects everybody in the novel. Okay, so a couple of things that I enjoyed about this book. I typically just tend to gravitate toward dystopian novels, or apocalyptic fiction. That's just a genre that always gets me. You really can't go wrong, for me at least. I really enjoy those type. For this one in particular, it's very real. So I know a lot of people that don't like that genre because they're like, ugh, zombies or ugh, aliens, and that's just not for them. But being that, and as a matter of fact, this is more real, I think, than ever before because our current situation, COVID-19, but being that this collapse takes place because of a flu, it's just so real and so chilling and so timely for what we're going through right now, but also doesn't really focus on the whole collapse part itself. So it's really kind of cool because it's putting us in that same sort of scenario, but it's looking at before and after. So that I found really interesting. I also like the fact that it's not told chronologically and that it does jump back and forth, so it definitely keeps you on your toes. And it mentions some of the same things throughout the years and throughout the characters, so you know eventually they're all going to connect somehow. So the whole time you're reading, you're trying to figure out where that connection is. So it's almost like a mystery that you're trying to solve while you're going through the novel. It's also multi-perspective. So while it's going back and forth between times, you're also getting perspectives from different narrators. So again, it doesn't get boring. It really keeps you on your toes and it jumps around a lot. While the subject seems really dark and dreary, the whole tone of the novel is definitely not that. In fact, I found that a lot of the events, or at least at the very end, it was more hopeful than anything else. So I would recommend this book for anyone. There are not really any trigger warnings for me to divulge. Again, anybody that's in high school or even an adult, because I don't necessarily think that this is YA. Another awesome thing about it is that it is going to be made into a 10-episode miniseries. They just signed a deal in 2019, so that is currently in the works, although I'm not sure if they're still on schedule due to COVID-19. I can't say that enough during this book talk, I guess. But that's going to premiere on a branch of HBO that will be available through streaming. So I can't wait to check that out. But that's all I have for you guys today. And so until I see you guys next week, I hope that you're reading something great. And if you watch this, please make sure and comment down below and give me some suggestions for some great titles. Or if you want to discuss Station 11 because you've already read it, I'd welcome that as well. So thanks for watching, guys. We'll see you next time. Bye.